Good morning, and thank you for joining me this morning. I am so grateful to our host, the Centennial Institute, for inviting me. And we are one of the workhorse organizations that Jeff mentioned this morning, Mountain States Legal Foundation. Our mission is to protect and restore those rights enshrined in the Constitution through pro bono litigation. So we are the pro bono lawyers for a lot of the liberty movement. We at Mountain States remember that America was, we began as a country of rebels, but we were driven by principle. From our Declaration to our Constitution, Americans turned the old world order on its head. Instead of allowing the powerful in England to grant us a few scant liberties, we, the little rebellion that could, recognized our individual natural right to liberty and granted our government a few scant powers. Mountain States Legal Foundation was founded in 1977 by individuals who believe, as I think many of you do, that if we abandon our keystone issue, that the rights of the individual are supreme rather than the power of the state or the rights of a collective, that our country will abandon the principles that make it remarkable. We at Mountain States do this by litigating for individuals in several key areas. Our cornerstone issue since 1977 has been property rights. Those two small words encompass a remarkable number of issues revolving around your right to own and use your property as you see fit without government interference. We defend equality under the law, arguing that the government may not play favorites. It's obliged to treat all Americans equally. And we started working intently on Second Amendment issues in the early 2000s, just before the Supreme Court finally decided to start weighing in on this issue. Most recently, in 2021, we expanded our attention to include the freedoms of speech and association that are under such shocking attack today in our country. Our challenge from the beginning has been to advance liberty, to take the Constitution and its principles on the offense, while vigorously and faithfully representing our clients who allow us to press our mission through their cases. Let me offer a quick look at just one of our current cases. Americans instinctively understand what property rights are. But here in the West, things get a bit more complicated because of all of the federal lands. For perspective, as of 2020, the federal government owns 640 million acres, and that works out to about 28% of the United States landmass, which is not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible until you realize that 92% of that is located in just 12 Western states. The U.S. government, as you guys know, is currently engaged in a total war against anyone who generates value from the land. They will not stop until all of these industries are destroyed or we make them stop. And they're creative in the way that they go about this war, because one of the worst ways that government can harm people is by simply doing nothing. Agencies have delayed for years and even decades in hopes that folks will run out of money or run out of willpower to continue the fight. Case in point, our clients, Emerson and Faye Ray, were a young couple who, when they first came to California during the Great Depression, were just in search of a job. Emerson heard that he might be able to get a job pouring concrete. Isn't that exciting? It was hot, hard work out there in the California desert, but it put food on the table, and neither Emerson nor Faye had ever shied away from a hard day's work. They first staked a claim on what would become the SEMA cinder mine in 1948, where they produced cinder for Western construction markets for more than 50 years. Multiple generations of the Ray family worked the mine, and they grew up in and around the small cabin that they had built on the site. In 1991, the Ray family submitted their application to patent their claim. Patenting is simply a legal method to gain complete ownership of an area that a prospector has discovered a valuable interest in. Unfortunately, in 1993, President Clinton's administration passed a law that stopped the patent applications from being processed. But the Ray family had already submitted their application, so they should have been grandfathered in. They should have been free and clear. But nothing happened for 28 years. In 2019, the raise finally came to Mountain States, and we filed a motion to request the court to require the agency to just make a decision, because until we had that decision, nobody could do anything. There wasn't anything to protest. It was just pending. In September 19, the court did exactly what we asked, and then the agency took the rest of 2020 to decide what they were going to decide. And they decided that our clients could have 10 of these 692 acres that they had patented, that they had applied for. But we had a decision now that we could protest, that we could contest. And in January 2021, we filed suit over the outrageous treatment our clients had undergone for, as of today, 32 years. In April this year, we finally got to stand in front of a court and argue this very case. And folks, the future looks really bright for the Ray family. The courts don't move quickly, but they do move. And Mountain States Legal Foundation works hard to move them in the right direction on behalf of folks like the Ray family. So that's what we do at Mountain States. We spend all day, every day, litigating for liberty at no legal cost to our clients. When the government forgets that we, the people of the United States, granted it only those few scant powers, Mountain States Legal Foundation goes to work. Simply stated, we fight for a free country, for a free people. If you want to learn more about our work, you can find us at mslegal.org, and we appreciate your time today. Thank you.